The majority of the population gets their paycheck and then spend it wrong, causing them to live paycheck to paycheck. Now, here are the 10 ways you're spending your paycheck wrong, so you can avoid them. Number 1, not having a plan. And look at the L. Your financial future depends on what is going on right now. People spend countless hours watching TV or scrolling through their social media feeds, but setting aside 2 hours a week for their finances is completely out of the question. You need to know where you are going. Make spending some time planning your finances a priority. Number 2, paying off debt with savings. You may be thinking that your debt is costing 19% and your retirement account is making 7%. Swapping the retirement for the debt means you'll be pocketing the difference. But it's not that simple. In addition to losing the power of compounding, it's very hard to pay back those retirement funds, and you could be hit with hefty fees. For instance, never borrow from your 401k ever. With the right mindset, borrowing from your retirement account can be a viable option. But even the most disciplined planners have a tough time placing money aside to rebuild these accounts. It's just extremely difficult. When the debt gets paid off, the urgency to pay it back usually goes away. People end up getting lazy. It would be very tempting to continue spending at the same pace, which means you could go back into debt all over again. So if you're going to pay off debt with savings, you have to live like you still have a debt to pay to then pay towards your retirement fund to replenish that. But again, you should never borrow from your retirement. Number 3, not investing. If you do not get your money working for you in the markets or through other income-producing investments, you cannot stop working ever. Making monthly contributions to designated retirement accounts is essential for a comfortable retirement. Take advantage of tax-deferred retirement accounts and/or your employer-sponsored plan. Understand the time your investments will have to grow and how much risk you can tolerate. Consult a qualified financial advisor to match this with your goals if possible. Number 4, living paycheck to paycheck. In March 2018, the U.S. household personal savings rate was just 3.1%, according to Federal Reserve data. Many households are living paycheck to paycheck, and an unforeseen problem can easily become a disaster if you are not prepared. The cumulative result of overspending puts people into a precarious position, one in which they need every dime they earn, and one missed paycheck would be disastrous. This is not the position you want to find yourself in when an economic recession hits. If this happens, you'll have very few options. Many financial planners will tell you to keep 3 months' worth of expenses in an account where you can access it quickly. Loss of employment or changes in the economy could drain your savings and place you in a cycle of debt paying for debt. A 3-month buffer could be the difference between keeping or losing your house. Now, personally, I recommend you have at least 6 months to a year, but depending on your cost of living, your monthly expenses, 3 months could be potentially fine, and also how secure your income is. Number 5, using home equity like a piggy bank. Your home is your castle. Refinancing and taking cash out on it means giving away ownership to someone else. It also costs you thousands of dollars in interest and fees. Smart homeowners want to build equity, not make payments in perpetuity. In addition, you'll end up paying way more for your home than it's worth, which virtually ensures that you won't come out on top when you decide to sell. Number 6, spending too much on your house. When it comes to buying a house, bigger is not necessarily better. Unless you have a large family, choosing a 6,000 square foot home will only mean more expensive taxes, maintenance, and utilities, right? And not to mention the amount of time it takes to just clean that place. Do you really want to put such a significant long-term dent in your monthly budget? Number 7, buying a new car or leasing a car. Millions of new cars are sold each year, although few buyers can afford to pay for them in cash. However, the inability to pay cash for a new car means an inability to afford the car. After all, being able to afford the payment is not the same as being able to actually afford the car. Furthermore, by borrowing money to buy a car, the consumer pays interest on a depreciating asset, which amplifies the difference between the value of the car and the price paid for it. Worse yet, many people trade in their cars every 2 or 3 years and then lose money on every trade. Sometimes a person has no choice but to take out a loan to buy a car. But how much does any consumer really need a large SUV or a truck worth $80,000? Because I mean, for the most part, the majority of the population goes from point A to point B and that's it. So such vehicles are expensive to buy, insure, and fuel. Unless you tow a boat or trailer or need an SUV to earn a living, is an 8-cylinder engine worth the extra cost of taking out a large loan? If you need to buy a car and or borrow money to do so, consider buying one that uses less gas and costs less to insure and maintain. Cars are expensive, and if you're buying more car than you need, you're burning through money that could have been saved or used to pay off debt or to grow or maybe even scale up an existing business. Number 8, living on borrowed money. Using credit cards to buy essentials has become somewhat normal. But even if an ever-increasing number of consumers are willing to pay double-digit interest rates on gasoline, groceries, and a host of other items that are gone long before the bill is paid in full, don't be one of them. Credit card interest rates make the price of the charged items a great deal more expensive. Depending on credit also makes it more likely that you spend more than you earn. Number 9, never-ending payments. Ask yourself if you really need items that keep you paying every single month, year after year. Things like cable television, all those different, TV subscription services like Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, music services like Spotify, Premium, or fancy gym memberships can force you to pay unceasingly but leave you owning nothing. When money is tight or you just want to save more, creating a leaner lifestyle can go a long way to fattening your savings and cushioning yourself from financial hardship. Number 10, excessive or no point spending. Great fortunes are often lost $1 at a time. It may not seem like a big deal when you pick up that double mocha cappuccino and stop for a pack of cigarettes or even have dinner out or order that pay-per-view movie, but every little item adds up. Just $25 per week spent on dining out costs you $1,300 per year, which could go toward an extra mortgage payment or a number of extra car payments. And if you're enduring financial hardship, avoiding this mistake really matters. After all, if you're only a few dollars away from foreclosure or bankruptcy or even paycheck to paycheck, every dollar will count more than ever. And sometimes it's just good enough to save a little bit of money to then pay for like a premium product that will have a good return on investment. For example, instead of spending $5 or $10 a day at Starbucks, save up that money for about a month, get an extremely good coffee maker at home, and then you can start making coffee at home every single day for less than $1. Right? So that could save you a lot of money very quickly. So feel free to watch more down below. Check out the money lesson playlist. Feel free to subscribe, smash the like button, all that kind of stuff. You can listen to the podcast anywhere podcasts are available. And if you want to get a free stock worth up to $500, go join Robinhood, because you have potentially a chance to get a stock worth up to $500 by joining Robinhood. Now, if you want to learn how to make money online, go down below and watch the free 30-minute training to see if it's right for you. If you want to learn how to create a profitable online course and be able to make money doing that, go join the Course Academy and check out 40inbox.com so you can be a master of your money. And we also post on Instagram at 40inbox pretty much daily, so feel free to go check out there as well. Peace out.